Stephanie Jenkins crashes out on her daughter because she is not properly watching her baby while she's on live. Listen to this clip.
Honey, stop looking at me like that. If that's how it goes down. I asked you, I gave you the option. Help with your sister for a minute, or you can get up and do the chores they're literal chores. They're literally yours.
I'll help her. No, Miss Rachel.
Not 10-year-old girl, she be. Holy fuck. Give me the baby now and go do your chores.
And what happens is that Stephanie loses her cool. She steps away and she tries to attempt to say under her breath, shut the fuck up, stop disturbing me, or something along those lines, and then says, fuck you, straight to her daughter's face.
She begged TikTok for donations to feed her kids, but now she's accused of cussing out her own daughter on live. And if CPS gets involved, Stephanie Jenkins might be facing more than just TikTok backlash. She could be staring down real consequences. But this isn't just another TikTok scandal, jury. This case exposes deeper cracks, fake breakups, manipulation for money, emotional neglect, and children forced into chaos. The evidence we are about to present is layered, complex, and messy, and every single detail matters. Court is in session. Today's case, the people versus Stephanie Jenkins. This is not just TikTok drama, jury. This is a complex, high-profile trial in the court of public opinion. The defendant, Stephanie Jenkins, stands accused of multiple charges: manipulation, public sympathy for monetary gain, staging relationship breakups to farm engagement, verbally attacking her preteen daughter in front of thousands, and exposing all 5 of her children to ongoing emotional harm. All while live streaming from a cramped motel room. We're not here to gossip. We're here to examine evidence, receipts, transcripts, and reactions. Every breakdown, every staged fight, every word caught on live has become part of this case file. Jury, settle in and take note. This is no longer just TikTok tea. This is about influence versus integrity, responsibility versus recklessness, and the real-world consequences when family drama becomes public content. Stephanie Jenkins, a TikTok mom of 5 with an online presence built on controversy and chaos. For months, her content has thrived on motel meltdowns, public confrontations, relationship theatrics, live stream fights, endless sympathy pleas, and carefully staged reconciliations designed to keep viewers hooked. But this latest incident, it marks a turning point. It's not just a messy breakup or a clickbait meltdown. This time, it's darker, more serious, and far-reaching. Her children, the ones she claims to fight for, the ones she constantly places at the center of her narrative, are now caught in the crossfire. And the receipts? There are too many to ignore. Hours of crying videos, subscriber-only lives revealing unfiltered moments, direct transcript quotes showing harsh language, and glaring inconsistencies in her explanations. Piece by piece, these records build a picture entirely different from the carefully curated image she wants TikTok to believe. This isn't about a single breakup. It's not even just about Drew. This is about a repeated, escalating pattern, one where Stephanie consistently chooses public spectacle over private stability and where the cost is paid by her kids. Exhibit A. It all started with Drew, Stephanie's on-again, off-again partner, and arguably her biggest trigger point, the central figure in almost every storm surrounding her name. Drew recorded himself leaving the motel, bag slung over his shoulder, head down, walking aimlessly through the streets like a man shattered by heartbreak. He filmed himself wandering as though he had nowhere to go, giving the impression of a man exiled and broken. TikTok ate it all up instantly. Viewers flooded the comments with sympathy and support, expressing outrage at Stephanie's apparent abandonment. And donations? They came pouring in within minutes. PayPal links, Cash App handles, and GoFundMe shares skyrocketed as people rushed to help Stephanie and the kids get through this. This narrative painted Drew as the villain, the irresponsible partner who walked out, leaving a struggling mom and 5 kids trapped in a motel room. People rallied around Stephanie, sending her messages of solidarity and boosting her visibility across the platform. But then came the twist. Less than 24 hours later, Drew was right back in his gaming chair. Same hotel, same setup, same PS5 sitting untouched in the background. He hadn't moved out. He hadn't left Stephanie. It became glaringly obvious that the so-called breakup was staged for impact, a storyline designed to maximize engagement. Stephanie then went live, her face blotchy from tears, voice trembling as she delivered an emotional monologue. "It's my fault. I overpressed him about the cheating. I messed
Guys ended up just getting right back together, so this was just rage bait at its finest. Or perhaps it's 24 hours we should have stayed off the fucking internet. You feel me? Perhaps it's just that Drew and I should have handled our shit without getting the fuck online. And I'm gonna fully admit that started with me. But maybe it's because I felt like it was what I needed to do to catch the man's attention. And him and I have been arguing and dealing with some shit pretty intensely for the past month. And I'm not gonna lie, that fucking like side chick account had me in my goddamn head, because I'm like, why is this shit talking about stuff you would literally have a conversation with me about?
But here's where the cracks appear, jury. Only a month earlier, screenshots from Drew's alleged side chick had surfaced, proving his infidelity beyond doubt. But then, Stephanie furiously defended him, insisting Drew would never talk like that. Now, she admits the cheating openly, yet somehow twists the narrative to make herself responsible for his leaving. This isn't confusion. This isn't miscommunication. This is calculated narrative control, rewriting events to manipulate TikTok's perception of her relationship and maintain her position as the wronged partner. Creators immediately called her out. She's weaponizing heartbreak for engagement. And TikTok jurors started asking the tougher questions. Was this heartbreak genuine? Or were thousands of viewers emotionally manipulated for clout, sympathy, and cold, hard cash?
So Stephanie posted a new video, and she said that the Drew's side piece page had her in her head. She also regrets making a video talking about the whole situation and that she was just trying to get Drew's attention, which I find crazy, because why are you trying to get a man's attention who got up and left you and them kids in that motel room? She also said that for the last month, her and Drew have been struggling with their relationship. Stephanie, I'm telling you right now, this is not going to be the first or the last time you get on here crying your eyes out because Drew is cheating on you. You even said that he blocked you, girl. And no, I'm not saying that they were faking this whole situation. I do believe that they were definitely going through something. And of course, any drama is going to pop off. It is so important to be having your own money, considering the fact that a man can leave you at any moment in given time with all of those children. And he took the car too. And if he did it once, he'll do it again. But please do not get upset and start yelling at us because we don't believe when you say that you're going to leave him.
Exhibit B. Stephanie's obsession with Drew became more visible than ever before. And jury, it played out live, unfiltered, in front of thousands of shocked viewers. She went live for hours, crying hysterically, pacing back and forth across the small motel room, her voice cracking and trembling as she admitted, "I can't go 10 minutes without knowing where he is." This isn't just an emotional moment. It was a raw, unedited window into a deeper dependency that alarmed TikTok viewers everywhere. Stephanie confessed to checking Drew's location constantly, refreshing his messages and calling his phone dozens of times in a short span, spiraling whenever he didn't respond immediately. Viewers saw it all unfold in real time. The anxiety, the panic, the desperation. Now pause here, jury. Drew supposedly moved out, but somehow he left his PS5, his gaming setup, and half of his belongings. If someone truly leaves their family in anger, do they walk out without their most prized possessions? That contradiction raised red flags instantly. TikTok wasn't buying the narrative. She's hooked on the chaos, and we are all the audience.
Girl, when I look at you, literally look at you. This man is draining the absolute life out of you. He is sucking you dry. This man is putting you through all of this. You're still staying in a hotel room with all of them kids who, by the way, look so depressed and so drained for how young they are because they are living in this situation because of you and that other man that he's not even a man, because of that boy that you're living with. Stephanie, that man does not like you. He doesn't love you. He doesn't want to be with you. He is looking for the next couch that he can sleep on so that he can play his PS5. Please understand this. And then after this post, you get back on last night and say, oh, we shouldn't have come to the internet with our problems. I should have waited 24 hours to be able to talk about this. Like, I fully put this on myself. No. He went to drive around the block, figured out he couldn't find a couch to sleep on, a better couch to sleep on, and then came back to the motel because he was like, oh shit, I don't really have anywhere to go, so I guess I'm going to go back with this chick and all the kids at the motel room. Until he does it again. And again, and again, and again. And you're just allowing it to happen. He does not like you.
Take all this TikTok money that you're making, go spend it on your kids, go get a nice little apartment, and leave this fucking man behind, this boy behind. He does not care about you. He doesn't care about those children. He doesn't care about literally anything except for surfing on the next couch that he can find. Okay? Okay, bye. Also, get those kids in therapy. Please, for the love of God, get those kids in therapy ASAP.
But here's where it gets even more revealing. This isn't just unhealthy emotional attachment. It's strategically disguised as vulnerability. Stephanie knows the formula better than most. Obsession creates drama. Drama sparks outrage. Outrage drives views. Views attract donations, sponsorships, and brand deals. Every tear, every frantic phone call, every calculated pause becomes content. Creators began connecting the dots. If this breakup was real, why does every life feel staged for maximum engagement? Stephanie has mastered the art of turning personal turmoil into public spectacle. Her heartbreak doesn't just trend, it pays the bills. The more chaotic the narrative, the more viral the clip, and the more money rolling in. What looks like suffering may be her most profitable strategy yet. Exhibit C. This isn't Stephanie's first viral controversy. In fact, jury, this pattern has been running since day one, forming the foundation of her entire TikTok brand. In their very first live stream together, Drew openly admitted, "She paints me however she wants, as long as it brings us money. I don't care." That single statement was a confession and a blueprint rolled into one. It set the tone for everything that followed. Translation: every fight, every public breakdown, every screaming match, every heartfelt reconciliation serves a singular purpose: monetization. It's not chaos for chaos' sake. It's chaos as currency. This became painfully clear during the Deshaun custody scandal, one of Stephanie's biggest controversies to date. She faced massive backlash after being accused of alienating her son, Deshaun, from his biological mother, an allegation that lit TikTok on fire. Instead of taking accountability or offering clarity, Stephanie made a calculated move. She strategically shifted the blame to Drew. And Drew? He publicly accepted the fault without hesitation, effectively absorbing the heat meant for her. Why? Because maintaining Stephanie's innocent mom just trying to survive narrative was crucial for audience sympathy. And in this ecosystem, sympathy directly converts into what Stephanie chases most: donations, followers, sponsorships, and relevance. TikTok has started connecting dots. If every fight, every tear, and every meltdown is performative, how much of any of this is real? Creators and followers alike began questioning everything. Was Stephanie genuinely documenting her struggles for transparency? or carefully scripting them as recurring story arcs designed to trigger engagement? And if it's the latter, it raises a deeper, more troubling question. Are thousands of viewers being emotionally manipulated under the guise of relatability just to keep a financial machine running at full speed?
Stephanie, yo, do you hear what you're saying? Basically, she was just like, I just was really convinced that he was cheating on me. He is. She says she confronted him about it. He get to acting weird. She never specified how they reconciled, but he back in his gaming chair. She told my son, yeah, I think we just really just needed just 24 hours off the internet. Sis, it's not too late. It's not too late. You can start right now. You can start today. She made it seem like that was some sort of hard thing to do. Like, we just really just needed to be off of social media. I think so too. I think so too. But we all know at this point that is never going to happen. They both immediately took to the internet with this skit. And we know that it's a skit because, first of all, we just needed to be off the internet for 24 hours. Drew had been off the internet for weeks. Until all of a sudden, y'all came up with this plan. Long story short, what she really wanted to say was, hey, we tried to do a little skit. Y'all ain't fall for it. So we just going to go ahead and just wrap it on up because we still got more begging to do. And then she also wasn't going to be able to explain how he was back in the chair when she do her resets. But hey, whether they together, separate, don't really matter to me. All I know is this content is so profitable that the $1,000 that I spent on that football equipment, I got half of it back already just by doing this content. So I'm gonna keep going. I hope they keep on breaking up and getting back together. What they gonna do today? I can't wait to see. And if they keep it up, I'm just gonna use these funds and sponsor my kids' whole football team with their antics. So, maybe she don't need to stay off the internet for 24 hours. Do you, girl? Do you? You're doing great. You're doing great. Keep up the good work.
Exhibit D. This is where everything escalates from viral drama to a deeply troubling situation involving potential emotional neglect and even child endangerment. During a subscriber-only live, Stephanie asked her 10-year-old daughter to watch over the 7-month-old baby so she could continue streaming uninterrupted. From the start, viewers could sense the tension, and within minutes, frustration took over completely. The audience witnessed the shift happen in real time. The sighs, the irritated tone, the growing agitation. Direct transcript quote. Daughter: I'm trying my best, Mom. Stephanie: No, you're not. You're doing nothing to help me. After that, things spiraled rapidly. Stephanie stepped away from the camera, but her raised voice carried loudly through the mic, laced with profanity, as she cast her daughter out directly to her face. She accused her of being lazy, useless, and making things harder, piling the weight of childcare onto a 10-year-old who was clearly overwhelmed. Meanwhile, Drew sat in the background, fully absorbed in gaming, making no effort to intervene or to de-escalate the situation. The live chat erupted instantly. Viewers flooded the comments with shock and anger, horrified that a child was not only being yelled at, but also publicly shamed on camera in front of thousands. This isn't rage bait anymore. This is emotional abuse. Within hours, clips of the live circulated widely across TikTok, exploding into the For You page. Creators began stitching and derating the footage, demanding accountability. Some called it outright exploitation. Others pointed out a recurring pattern in Stephanie's parenting that could no longer be brushed aside as content. Conversations quickly turned serious. Multiple viewers openly discussed filing reports with Child Protective Services.
At this point, I'm starting to wonder if Stephanie cussing directly in her children's faces is part of her rage bait strategy. If you haven't heard, Stephanie went on live apparently for subs only. Like, who the fuck is paying for that? That's what I want to know. But went on subs only today. She was at it with her oldest daughter, which I personally can no longer stand to hear. It is so sad. The depletion in this child is unreal. She's going back and forth with this child, basically saying that she needs to watch her sister so that she doesn't have to do chores filters, and in turn, Stephanie can make her stupid live. Well, apparently her oldest daughter was not doing what she needed her to do. So much so, the daughter says in a very elevated and sad voice, "I'm trying so hard to help you." And Stephanie replies back, "No, you're not." Well, anyway, I guess the daughter continues to push back. But then what happens is that Stephanie loses her cool. She steps away and she tries to attempt to say under her breath, "Shut the fuck up, stop disturbing me," or something along those lines, and then says, "Fuck you," straight to her daughter's face. I'm going to tag the creator below who saved the audio from that live. Check it out if you want to hear the full audio, because she has like 3 or 4 minutes of this live. So after she says that to her daughter, she then posts this video next.
There she goes, posting like it's just another day and nothing went down. Well, yeah, honey, that's called life. Then there's a good amount of people who are just here to hate and spread their opinions, which, and that's just how miserable people operate, and that's them. I don't really give a crap.
Imagine putting on a front and being like, "I don't really give a crap," when you're literally talking directly to your daughter and saying, "Fuck you." Just say, "I don't give a fuck." I have said this so many times. Just speak. Just speak the way that you're speaking to your children. Just speak so that people can actually see the authentic you that you're always claiming you want to be. Also, imagine calling people who have been watching your story unfold the miserable ones. You are so miserable and you blame everybody else. You think people aren't going to have an opinion that you're back with Drew after 24 hours of your whatever the fuck you want to call that, and that people aren't going to continue to call you out when you are talking to your children like this. It is baffling to me, and I'm going to be really honest. I take breaks from the Resilient Jenkins content because it's a lot. It's a lot. Nothing changes. It's like watching a slow burning building, and it's just never ending. And I think that's kind of where I'm at right now. I feel like she is getting the views that she wanted. Maybe she's getting some attention on the other apps, which is what people have speculated. And I think I'm just done. You can't say that kind of stuff underneath your breath and not expect people to believe that is the real you. You claim you want to be authentic, start being authentic. Because when we hear that stuff, when we hear the way you actually talk to your children, when you have the audacity to talk to them and treat your daughter like she is your co-parent, that's the real you. At this point, I'm just disgusted. I gotta take a break. I want to know what you guys think. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments.
As the outrage snowballed, numerous claims surfaced that CPS had already been alerted. Whether confirmed or not, the damage was done. This incident marked a definitive turning point. Stephanie was no longer just seen as a chaotic TikTok mom. The narrative shifted entirely. It became about genuine concerns for her parenting, her children's well-being, and whether her pursuit for content had crossed irreversible lines. Exhibit E. This meltdown changed the narrative entirely, and the fallout was immediate and severe. Within hours, clips of the live circulated across TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. Hashtags like #ProtectTheKids and #Justice for Stephanie's Kids trended overnight, gaining millions of views. Comment sections exploded with debates, stitches, and duets dissecting every frame of the live. Stephanie's follower count plummeted almost instantly. Long-term supporters unfollowed in droves, calling her actions unforgivable. Brands that once partnered with her for sponsorships quietly began cutting ties, some even releasing statements distancing themselves from the controversy. One creator tweeted, "A motel room is already hard enough for the kids, but cussing them out on camera? Unforgivable." But TikTok wasn't just angry. They were mobilizing. Larger creators began amplifying calls of accountability, encouraging viewers to report the incident directly to authorities. Reports to CPS began to spike, and multiple creators claimed they personally filed complaints. The tone of public sentiment shifted dramatically. Stephanie was no longer being seen as the struggling mom doing her best. For many, this live confirmed long-held suspicions. Her content isn't just chaotic, it may be harmful. Her reputation within the TikTok community has taken a massive hit, and recovery, if even possible, will take more than tears, apologies, or sympathy pleas.
It's really crazy that you mention her because I think of Stephanie a lot. Drew is not autistic. Drew is a narcissist. I'm not saying she's off the hook. I do not know. I am not here to judge anyone, but I really feel like that she would completely thrive if she was away from this man. I've heard some of the footage of him saying, like, you're not going to do that while I'm here, talking to the kids and stuff. And when he wouldn't get their daughter donuts and he had promised. This is textbook narcissist stuff, and he is letting her put an autistic label on him happily. Because if he's autistic, he's not a narcissist, right? I 100% do not think that that man is autistic. And you have to go through diagnosis for that. Because did you know that there are some things that can be, I'm learning this now, going through this with my 5-year-old. There are things that can be wrong that come across and come out as autism or ADHD, but it's really just untreated other problems. Like my 5-year-old having vagus nerve damage and extremely large tonsils. Her tongue doesn't touch the roof of her mouth, so her body's never in rest mode. She's not speaking well. She's walking on her tiptoes. Like there's things that like that I thought she was for sure autistic. Now that we're going to the doctor and we're getting these other problems taken care of. So it really is worrisome to me that she is putting this autistic label on herself, I think even, her husband, and some of her kids without a doctor's diagnosis. It is harmful. But at the same time, I have been in her shoes and you reach for everything that you can. You want an explanation as to why this man isn't doing what he's supposed to be doing. It's easier to blame autism than to just say he's an asshole and lazy. I think that Stephanie would thrive if she got away from him, but she would have a lot of work that she also needed to do on her own self. I have lived in a motel before. I have been homeless. I have been strung out on drugs. I have a lot of kids. I have a blended family. I have been a stepmother. I have had a stepfather for my kids, like all the things. And the fact that that man gets on there and plays that PlayStation while they're living in a motel room literally makes me want to reach through my phone and shake her. Like, girl, it doesn't get better. It only gets worse. It took me so long to realize that, though. I had to take myself into therapy. I had to reach my own breaking point and get my own self into therapy. And now I've learned things that I can never unlearn. I hope and pray that Stephanie gets to this point for the children's sake.
Exhibit F. The bigger picture. Jury, zoom out for a moment. This case is bigger than Stephanie. It's not about one TikTok mom. It's about influencer culture, algorithm-driven outrage, and the dangerous cost of constant visibility. Social media rewards chaos, and Stephanie's story highlights exactly what happens when personal struggles become content strategies. When family trauma gets packaged, edited, and monetized, where do we draw the line between authentic storytelling and outright exploitation? How much privacy should children be entitled to when their lives are being broadcast to millions? And how far should audiences go in consuming these narratives? Every staged stunt chips away at trust, not just in creators, but in platforms. Every live stream fight normalizes chaos, conditioning viewers to see dysfunction as entertainment. And when children are pulled into the spotlight, the stakes raise beyond TikTok likes or viral hashtags. What we are witnessing isn't just drama. It's a system that turns real lives into algorithms, and kids are often the ones paying the price. The judge's analysis. Stephanie's defenders say she's doing her best. But jury, the evidence paints a much darker, more complex picture. One of repeated stunts, carefully orchestrated meltdowns designed for maximum engagement, escalating neglect, and a constant refusal to shield her children from relentless public scrutiny. Drew benefits, Stephanie benefits, TikTok engages, but her kids? They are collateral damage. Children caught in the crossfire of content strategy, pulled into videos and live streams they never consented to. Their private moments broadcast to millions for clicks and monetization. This isn't just about TikTok drama anymore. It's about digital parenting in an era where visibility is currency, where personal struggles become public spectacle, and where the lines between content and exploitation have completely blurred. It's about the responsibilities influencers owe to their children, the duty to protect, to shield, and to prioritize well-being of engagement. It raises critical questions. Where is the boundary between transparency and exploitation? What does consent look like for children who don't understand virality? And when platforms reward chaos, who holds influencers accountable for the cost their children are paying? The verdict. So, jury, here's the case laid out before you. and every piece of evidence counts. Staged breakups, carefully designed to manipulate TikTok for clout and sympathy. Monetized meltdowns, where personal chaos becomes calculated content for views, donations, and sponsorships. Emotion abuse caught on camera, including public shaming for her preteen daughter during a live broadcast. Alleged CPS involvement looming, as reports from viewers suggest authorities may already be investigating. Stephanie Jenkins insists she's doing her best. But jury, the receipts tell a different story, one of manipulation, negligence, and repeated choices that prioritize engagement over her children's well-being. Verdict pending. But in this courtroom, you decide. Is she guilty, innocent, or simply misunderstood? Drop your verdict in the comments below and make your voice part of the jury's record. And don't forget to subscribe, because this trial, jury, is far from over, and the next hearing promises even more revelations.